All right, guys, I got a real juicy one for y'all. Some nasty work. Let's get right into it. I'm in shock and really need some advice right now. Me, 40-year-old male, and my wife, 37-year-old female, have been married for 10 years, and we recently celebrated our anniversary. We have two wonderful kids together. Since the beginning of the year, things have been off between us. She's been acting strangely since the beginning of the year, irritable, avoiding me, and we haven't been intimate much. Some days she's happy, some days she's fully irritated. Sometimes she's a great mother to our kids. Some other times she wishes they had never been born. Wow, that's already starting off crazy. Recently, I had to go to the urologist for a urinary tract infection, and the test suggested it might be an STD. This was a huge shock because I've never been with anyone other than my wife since we started dating. Right now, she's at a so-called business seminar, of which I talked about in a different post. She has been keeping diaries for over a decade, and out of desperation, I read them for the first time ever. It turns out she's been having multiple sexual partners for the past 2 years. In particular, there was one affair that lasted over a year, and it seems part of her irritability was due to her lover moving on to someone else. I also discovered she has a hidden Tinder account too, and has been meeting with other men regularly. Wow, so his wife is completely for the streets. I'm devastated beyond words. I feel lost and unsure of what to do, especially since we have two little kids who mean the world to me. I'm not going to keep interrupting so much, but brother, what do you mean you're unsure on what to do? You got to get the hell up out of there. This woman gave you an STD and she's bouncing on multiple cocks. There's nothing to think about, man. I need some advice on how to handle this situation. Should I confront her immediately? Should I consult a lawyer first? How do I even begin to process this betrayal and protect my kids through all of this? Thank you for your guidance and anything you can offer. So there's an update, and I'm going to keep going. He should definitely reach out to a lawyer, 100%, and document everything that he has. Okay, as everyone suggested, I'll try to consult discreetly with the lawyer ASAP, gather as much evidence as I can, get the STD treated, and as painful as it is, perform paternity tests on my kids. Yes, kudos to you, brother, because there's a good chance those aren't your children. To be honest, I'm a complete mess right now and cannot think properly. All kinds of thoughts are crossing my mind. Part of me still loves her and wants to forgive her. The other is just full of disgust and hatred and wishes I never even met her at all. I wish I could just disappear right now. Yeah, man, this is a real disgusting type situation, and I definitely wouldn't want to have to experience something like this. Whew. Okay, so we have an update from a month after he wrote this first post. Thank you for all your invaluable advice and support. It has been tremendous help during this difficult time. After my last post, my in-laws kindly offered to look after the kids while my wife was away at her seminar. They remain unaware of the turmoil I've been experiencing. I used this time to go through her diaries and take pictures of their contents. Each entry felt like a stab in the back, leaving me in a state of shock and disbelief. I just don't recognize anymore the person I thought I knew and loved for over a decade. To avoid going into too much detail, the revelations in the diaries would make any movie or TV series I've ever seen pale in comparison. She has been involved with at least 6 different men over the past 2 years. These affairs occurred not only during her so-called seminars, but also during short business trips, dinners, and other supposed work-related events. Meanwhile, I was at home taking care of the kids and naively believing I was supporting her career. Some entries vividly describe how great these encounters were for her, all while exposing gratitude towards me for being a devoted husband and father without a single trace of remorse. God damn, man. This lack of guilt and the extent of her deception make me question her emotional and mental state. It seems she's a sociopath. She has no care for your feelings or what you got going on. It's all about her and getting dick down, clearly. While reading through the diaries, I felt an overwhelming sense of despair and was seriously contemplating suicide. In the end, I sought refuge with friends for a few days as I felt I couldn't be alone. Otherwise, I'd do something that can never be taken back. They really supported me a lot during this time and helped me get in contact with a therapist. I'm now taking regular therapy sessions once per week. They also helped me in getting in touch with lawyers specializing in divorce. Listen, ladies, fellas, never contemplate taking your life over some piece of trash person. It's not worth it. You're going to destroy your kids' lives, destroy your family's lives over somebody that you shouldn't even put that much energy into. I know it hurts, but you got to just be strong and move on. And if you keep pushing forward, better days will come. I'm also getting treatment for my STD as well. Returning home after picking up the kids from my in-laws was an emotionally devastating experience. I couldn't bring myself to smile at all. At some point, while contemplating all the possible ways I could end my life, my daughter just looked at me and saw my face. Without saying a word, she just came over and wrapped her arms around me. At that moment, I broke down, held her tightly, and burst into tears in front of her. She's my sweet angel, and the shame of having considered leaving my kids to suffer under their mother's disdain was almost too much to bear. I'm glad he got that, that wake-up call. For the first few weeks after finding out, I could barely sleep at all and had to depend on sleeping pills just to get through the nights. My motivation was at an all-time low, affecting both my home life and my work. I forced myself to continue exercising and found out it was the only thing that actually made me feel better during this time. To whoever said in the previous post that I shouldn't give up on doing exercise, thank you. You may have just saved my life. Yeah, exercise is a big thing. You get to release stress, you get your body looking well, it's good for your health. And when you're working out, you keep your confidence, which is something you need in a situation like this. The stress intensified after my wife returned from her trip. Initially, it took all my energy to hide my disgust at her and the knowledge I had gained about her actions. I've somewhat got used to this now, but it remains emotionally draining. She did notice that something was off, but still appears to believe that I am entirely unaware of what has transpired. Her lack of shame is staggering. Just recently, she asked me to buy her the expensive gift I promised her for our 10-year anniversary, for which I made an excuse to not buy yet. Despite her going into another business trip just the day after our anniversary, which was described in extremely painful detail in her diaries. To make matters worse, she was even arranging to meet her latest partner on the day of my birthday. Oh, wow, man. This lady is an absolute disgusting slut bucket who clearly doesn't love her family at all. Nowadays, I've started to feel a lot better, thanks to exercise and therapy. I had never been to a therapist before in my life, and to be honest, I'm regretting not having done it sooner. Despite my wife betraying me in the worst possible way, part of me still thought that maybe all of this was my fault. Maybe if I had done this, if I had put more effort into that. I blame myself for a lot of things. My therapist helped me see through it that while I could have done some things differently, in the end, I cannot be held responsible for the action she chose to take. And no one deserves to be betrayed in the way I was. That's 100% true. This woman slept with, I'm pretty sure, double-digit men while she was with you. There's nothing you could have did to stop that. It's not a one-off thing, If I'm at fault for anything, it's for blaming myself for everything, always putting her needs ahead of my own and trusting her unconditionally without question. While it was extremely hard for me to balance work and looking after the kids alone every time she went on any of these trips, I always let her go after convincing myself that I was doing it for her, to support her business, to let her relieve stress from being home. That this is what a supportive husband would do, and that if maybe I had a better job or made her happier, she wouldn't feel the need to escape from home. I'd be lying if I said I'm not depressed anymore, but I'm certainly doing much better these days. Nowadays, I feel more rage rather than sadness, and it's the rage that keeps me going. My therapist advised me to channel this rage into things I do, which has worked surprisingly well. I talked with 2 law firms about my situation and was advised to collect more evidence, which I've been devoting myself to for the past few weeks. I finished digitizing all of her diaries from the past 2 years, which were quite a lot. I got access to her computer and found just way too many photos, chat conversations, and documents to help my case. She's been posting all of her adventures into a very distorted private group in Facebook, to which I've also taken plenty of screenshots. I've compiled a list of all her sexual partners in the diaries and have been identifying them one by one on social media, etc. I've gathered everything I could on her current sexual partners and managed to figure out where they live and or work. Now I'm debating whether I should confront them or not. My man, there's no reason to confront them. You know, your wife clearly likes to get piped down by multiple men. Um, what are you mad at them for? All your frustration and anger needs to be at your wife, and you need to move accordingly and just get out of that situation. There's no need to do any further investigating at this point. The things I've read in these diaries are so bizarre that I thought maybe she was just writing material for some sort of twisted novel. That is, until I found all the stuff in her computer. Maybe I'm broken myself as well, but a part of me is actually enjoying the process of gathering all these tiny pieces of evidence and information, cross-referencing them with her diaries and finding everything I can about her and her lovers. Part of me wants to see her burn on social media by posting directly everything I found out, since a big part of her business is centered around social media. But I'm refraining from doing this since it would also affect both me and the kids, as well as her parents, who have been nothing but kind to me since we got married. I'm also not sure if I should bring this to the light of her parents as well, since this will probably devastate them. I don't think you should bring it to social media. All you're going to do is embarrass yourself, embarrass your children. Bro, the best thing you could do, I know it's hard, I know it hurts. Get your divorce, get your ducks in order, make sure all finances are well, and move on. In any case, thank you all for the advice. A few weeks ago, I was in full despair and had no idea what to do nor how to approach the situation. Nowadays, I feel that little by little, I'm digging myself out of this hole I've been thrown into. Sorry if I don't respond to all your comments right now. My full attention is devoted to protecting my kids. And that's where he ended the post. Like I said, this is a crazy situation. Sometimes a person does something wrong to us and we try to figure out what did we do to cause that. But in this situation, dude, he could have been completely perfect and this woman was going to do what she wanted to do. I hope he has the balls to go through with the divorce and the strength to keep on moving and put this lady behind him and just be a great father to his kids and become a better man for this. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.